Hi everyone and welcome to Perima's kitchen. I am Selena, my daughter is Shivaya, and today I'm going to be cooking up a quick vegetable pilau. It's a very simple recipe and takes approximately 35 minutes in total. On the weekends especially, I want that home cooked meal. I feel for biryani, but it's so time consuming, and this is such a good option and a good alternative where you're still having delicious, satisfying food. The most important aspect when I'm cooking my pilau is the rice. I don't want it to be a grainy rice, and I also want it to be fast cooking. So choose the rice that's appropriate. I usually have about 2 or 3 different types of rice at home, and I use it according to what I'm cooking. So let's get cooking. First, I've added 2.5 cups of soft cooking basmati rice. I'm adding my boiling water. I've added some rough salt, less than a teaspoon of turmeric, and some cinnamon sticks. While my rice is boiling, I will start with the pilau base. I also have some lentils. I've got a cup of lentils boiling in some salted water as well. First, to my pot, I've already added my oil. I'm adding some cinnamon bark. Next, I'm adding some dry bay leaves. I'm adding about 3 little bay leaves. I will be adding some fresh bay leaves as well, so you can go ahead and add maybe about 4 dry bay leaves if you don't have anything fresh. Next, I'm adding a teaspoon of jeera seeds, also known as cumin seeds, followed by 2 Starenise. Now I'm going to add my Elachi pods, cardamom pods. I'm adding about 6. You can use Elachi powder. If you are using Elachi powder, a teaspoon, less than a teaspoon should be fine. I'm now adding some dried red chillies. This gives the pilau a very nice earthy taste and flavor. If you want to use green chilies, you can do that as well. Mix your whole spices in the oil. Give it a few seconds to release its flavors, and then add your sliced onion. Today I'm using 1 large sliced onion. Once your onions are slightly brown, we can then start adding our ground spices. I'm still going to add some jeera powder, some ground cumin powder. I'm using 1.5 teaspoons, followed by some roasted dhania powder or coriander powder, also another 1.5 teaspoons. Followed by 3 teaspoons of my masala. And 2 teaspoons of chili powder. Followed by a heaped teaspoon of turmeric powder. Next, I'm adding a teaspoon of crushed ginger and garlic. And you can turn down your heat if you want to. You can now give all of your ground spices a mix. You can have all your potatoes all prepped, peeled and diced. I'm using about 5 potatoes today. But before I add my potatoes, I'm adding some fresh bay leaves. I do have a bay leaf tree, so it's not necessary to have fresh bay leaf. And you have already added some dry bay leaves. I'm now adding my potatoes. These are soft cooking, up-to-date potatoes, so they won't take long at all. Once I've added my potatoes, I'm going to add my boiling water. I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of boiling water, which is approximately 300 milliliters. That should be suffice, but please use your discretion. Mix all your potatoes into the gravy, and once you're done mixing, you can add your rough salt. You will need a little extra salt because we still have to add some mixed veg. If you feel uncomfortable about adding too much of salt, add some rough salt now and some fine salt later. We will now close the lid and let the potatoes cook. The potatoes will only need about 15 minutes. In the meantime, we've already got our rice boiling and our lentils boiling. After about 15 minutes, I'm now going to mix the potatoes and proceed to add my mixed veg. I'm using some fresh green beans, about a cupful of fresh green beans, and some peas and carrots and corn. You can use whatever veggies that you have readily available. I'm using a combination of fresh and frozen. If you haven't added enough salt, you can add some fine salt now and a dash of boiling water if you need it. And the veggies will only need about 5 minutes. Everything smells absolutely delicious. I'm now ready to add my lentils. So I've drained the lentils and I'm adding it straight to the pot. Once you've added your lentils, mix it into the curry, into the gravy, so it absorbs some of that flavor. And before I let it simmer all together, I've melted 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to use 1.5 tablespoons now. Just drizzle some over that curry base and let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm now going to add some fresh mint, just a handful of mint. Followed by my parboiled rice. But keep about 2 spoonfuls aside. We're going to add some egg yellow coloring to that. For me, the difference between biryani and the pilau is the type of rice. This is much softer. It does absorb more of the gravy, and I will leave it to steam a bit longer, and it's less grainy than a biryani. Here's my 2 spoonfuls of rice. I'm adding a teaspoon of egg yellow coloring. Just mix it into that rice and then spread it all over your pilau. Once I've spread the rice, I'm going to add another 1.5 cups of water. We're then going to mix it thoroughly and let it cook further and steam in that water. This will allow the rice to absorb all of that gravy. The rice just needs to steam a little longer with the rest of the ingredients. Once you've mixed it, we are going to add the remainder of that butter. So initially I melted 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use butter or ghee. I did already use 1.5 tablespoons. I'm going to use the balance now. Drizzle your butter or ghee, the rest of it all over your rice. And we're going to let it simmer for a further 10 minutes on a low heat. And after about 10 minutes of steaming all together, the pilau is ready. It absorbed all of that gravy and water. I'm now garnishing with some fresh cut mint. You can use coriander if you wish. And because the pilau is slightly rich, today I'm serving it with some fresh green salad, just some spinach leaves and radish, together with some sour milk salad. And there you have it, a very simple vegetable pilau made in 35 minutes, literally 35 minutes. I really enjoyed the pilau. It was very flavorsome. The potatoes were soft and delicious. The veggies were so tasty. The combination of the green salad and the sour milk really complemented the pilau perfectly. Please give this hearty recipe a try. I promise you will not be disappointed. As usual, all the ingredients used will be found in the drop-down description below. Please subscribe. Kindly hit the notification bell so you are notified when a new video is uploaded. Please like and share. And your comments are always very welcome. See you again soon in Perima's kitchen. I am Selena.